What's good, YouTube? Spiral Out 90704 coming at you. Real quick, before I make this video, I just want to give my standard little disclaimer that I'm not encouraging or recommending anybody to go out and do drugs. I myself no longer use psychedelic drugs and have not for quite some time. So, with this video, I thought I'd just point out a couple differences between traditional psychedelics and research chemicals. Traditional psychedelics being stuff like LSD or mescaline, DMT, psychedelic mushrooms, things of those nature. And research chemicals being things, like 25I, NBOMe, something that's going around my parts called ammonite crystal, which I'm pretty sure is 2C, 25I, NBOMe, which is the amphetamine variant of 25I. It's more speedy and more unpredictable, more dangerous. DOM, DOI, they're all trash. Traditional psychedelics, I'm not going to go out and say that they're harmless, but I will go as far as saying that when paired up with research chemicals, which we really don't know what they do, the traditional psychedelics tend to be a safer path, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm not recommending you to use them. This isn't me saying go out and try traditionals. But I'm also not saying that certain research chemicals, i.e. like 2CI, 2CB, 2CE, 2CP, even though it was a hard trip, it was still noteworthy. I can't say that those were all bad, because honestly, back when I was getting those chemicals before the 2012 ban on 2Cs, they were a gray area of the law. They were unscheduled, and they were actually real. And another thing that I can't stress enough is me and my circle of friends, we were all using test kits. We had bunk police test kits, and we wouldn't pussyfoot around with the cheap ones. We would go out and get like the really expensive ones and test everything that we had, and it would always test out to what it was. And like 2CI was a very beautiful experience the first couple times I started taking it, but I stopped taking it after a couple of times, and same with 2CE and 2CC and 2CB. When you first get into the research chemicals, what's appealing about them, or what appealed about them to myself personally, was it was all the eye candy with none of the weird head effects. But the more that you dip into them, the more you start doing them, the more unpredictable they become. And suddenly, you'll find that those chemicals that you thought or would think would just be like eye candy turn into be the most hellish, intensely trips of your life, and in a very negative way. So, with traditional psychedelics, on the other hand, they tend to be more forgiving, if you will. Not saying that bad trips can't happen, because I've had plenty of bad trips on traditional psychedelics as well. But, we don't know what research chemicals do. We have no idea what the long-term negative consequences of taking drugs such as 25I, MDMA are. We have no, even with the 2Cs, we have no idea what the long-term effects of them are, but it seems to be that there isn't really any negative effects or aspects of it. I myself haven't noticed any saying personal negative attributes from the 2Cs. Now, granted, I still have a lot of negative leftover residuals from a very, very, very hellish 25i trip that got sprung on me a couple years ago when I was still using. You know, that was also another one of the reasons why I stopped. Like that one kind of scared me straight. In fact, I still kind of question how it didn't, you know, kill me. But anyway, that's a story for another time. But it goes to show you that, you know, research chemicals are dangerous. And, you know, just take my advice on this. Anyone that's new to the psychedelic world and psychedelic realm, you know, honestly, research chemicals are dangerous. Just don't do them. The real 2Cs are so hard to find nowadays because there's, like, honestly, with that ban that got enacted in 2012, and also with, you know, the Silk Road being shut down, and you know, there's no underground chemists that are really cooking up real 2CB or 2CI or 2CE anymore. You know, there's other chemicals to circumnavigate the law that they're using that are a lot more, you know, they're cheaper and more plentiful, and they're more powerful, more potent too. You know, you need less to get off. So anyway, that's just my personal opinions on research chemicals versus traditional psychedelics. Again, I'm not recommending you guys to go out and use these. I'm not saying they're fun, safe, or cool, but, you know, when you kind of just take a step back and look at the big picture, it does seem that the traditional psychedelics like LSD and mushrooms are a lot safer than the research chemicals that are out there nowadays, all the alphabet soup that's killing kids. And honestly, that's another reason why I'm starting to make my videos again after this long hiatus, is because it is a public service to all of you. I feel that it, you know, it's just my moral obligation, because honestly, if I'm not up here giving my detailed reports from my experiences with these drugs, delivering it to you firsthand, then there's going to be a lot more idiots like Lisa Ling running around spreading false information through the media with the help of that cocksucker Anderson Cooper. So anyway, with that, I'm going to cut this video off. Spiral Out 90704 signing off, and have a good night. Peace.